Hi everybody. Sorry it took me so long to get another video up about the hair flowers. So I thought I'd start by telling you how I learned how to do hair flowers. I actually was at a museum called Greenfield Village in Dearborn, Michigan, and I went to a jewelry shop there that was a replica of an old jewelry shop, and there was a woman there named Ruth Gordon that was doing the hair flowers, and I asked her if she would show me how to make them, and so she did. Um, she actually did a newsletter for a while, and so I learned a lot from that as well, and I'll try and pass some of that information on to you, although I can't copy this because it's copyrighted. Um, Also, she did an article in Piecework magazine. It was the volume 4, number 2, March and April of 1996. And she has a really nice article in there about the hair work. Um, so it's several pages and has quite a bit of information in it. So if you have a chance, look on eBay. I have seen it on there. The other resource that I have used is The Art of Hair Work. This is a reprinted book of an old book used by hair workers back when it was an industry. And what it has in it is it has different patterns and what it looks like when it's made. It also had in the back, it had for people to, pictures of things for people to order. And so it shows that, like, the number, and then they would order it, and then the people would make it for them. So it's a pretty interesting book, and I'll try and do a video on the doing hair work on the hair table in the next video. So I thought I would tell you some things that I've made that are different kinds of leaves and flowers and things. So the different size of your knitting needle is what makes the size of the flower. So this one has big knitting needle, and this one has a little knitting needle. And you can make a number of different things, even just a very simple, this one's gotten kind of messed up, but it's just a loop wrapped with wire if you don't have any knitting needles. But you can make a flower with a lot of leaves coming out from it, and they're all wrapped together and wrapped with the floral tape. And I cut it in half because it's too hard to manage it around these delicate areas when it's the thickness that it comes. So to make these kind of leaves, like this, what you do is, where's my piece that I was working with? Oh, here it is. You take your loops that you have and you turn it so that the wire is out like this, and then you wrap it. You can also do it the other way so that the wire is on the inside, and that makes a different kind of loop or a different kind of leaf. You can also make a leaf and then trim off or trim the loops open at their peak points, and it makes almost like a little brush. Or you can take and make a flower and trim the loops to make a little puff ball. One thing that I've done, a lot of times I'll have just a little bit of hair from somebody, and so I'll make a couple of flowers, and then I wrap them up, and this little vase here has a little hole in the bottom. I can just stick this in the bottom of the hole, and it just sits in there really nicely. So that's something you can do pretty simply for other people. You can also put leaves on them. Here's one that has some leaves, but it also has a flower, big flower in the middle, and then different petals on the outside, almost making it look like just a big flower. You can also make one that looks kind of funky, like this, by taking this and putting it together like this, and then just twisting it and twisting it like you're screwing something in, and it'll come out with loops that are kind of interesting looking. Anyhow, that's another way of doing it. So there's some ideas for you. I hope that helps some. There's one more thing. You can also put little pistils in the middle. These are some that I bought that come attached to each other, and I just will stick them down in the middle of the flower, and then just wrap the wire around them to hold them in place. Or you can take some little beads, and you take a needle, put some thread on it, put the needle up through the flower, put the beads on the needle, and then put the needle back down through the flower and tie the thread, and then put the wire around it. And that's another way of putting some beads in the middle of the flower. So there's a couple of ideas for you. When I'm preparing the hair, like if I take a piece of hair, let's see, here's some hair that I've got here. And this is a nice long piece of hair. Let's say I just want to take a little bit off of it. And sometimes it's kind of hard to do that without really tangling it all up. So usually what I do is see how this is thicker up here? Well, there's going to be some pieces down here that are shorter. And so I don't want to use those pieces, because those pieces are going to be flittering about. And so I take this and I bring it and I hold it at the end that is the skinniest, and I just pull all this other hair off. And you can use it too, but then you come out with a nice smooth piece of hair that's all the same. So this is a nice piece that's all the same. And I can go almost all the way down to the end with it, and it won't have a lot of little extra hairs sticking out. So that's another tip. The other thing I do is when I'm doing it, I put just a little bit of water on my hands or on the hair. That makes it easier to hang on to the hair, because the hair is typically very slippery unless you're using maybe horsehair or something. So I hope those ideas help. I really hope that people will try doing these hair flowers and that this art will continue. That's really the reason why I've done these videos is because this is a lost art and I want it to continue. It's part of our heritage, our heritage. So anyhow, I thank you for watching, and I hope that you will give it a try. And go ahead and like and subscribe if you want. And I'll probably be putting more videos on. So thanks for watching.